Well, the EU Common Fisheries Policy aims to manage fish stocks within European Union waters collectively for the benefit of all of the countries involved. The problem with fish, which most people think is obvious, but sometimes we need to remind ourselves, is that unlike other products, they move around, they're not static, they don't respect national boundaries. So even if the European Union Common Fisheries Policy didn't exist, we'd have to invent something like it. We'd have to have a system of cooperating with other countries whose waters we share in order to manage those fish stocks sustainably. Now, the criticism that's often been made of the Common Fisheries Policy is that we haven't managed to do that far too often trade-offs are undertaken in the negotiations between countries, so that one country says, "Oh, we'll let you catch more of that," and another country says in return, "We'll let you catch more of that." There hasn't been the political leadership that's been required in the individual nation states. It will also involve facing down some quite powerful fishing interests in the European Union, who I'm afraid in some cases are more interested in just catching what they can as quickly as they can, rather than on the long-term health of the fish stocks, which in the end is in their interests as well. Well, I think the biggest opportunities for the fishing industry are to turn the industry round into a sustainable industry. That will involve some painful decisions in the short and medium term, but it should mean, if we get it right, that we can put our fishing industry on a much more sustainable long-term footing. The threat to our marine environment is the second biggest threat humankind faces after climate change, and it's even more difficult in some ways because what's going on in the seas is invisible to most people. Unless you go down into the oceans as a diver, you don't see the impact of bottom trawling or some of the really destructive practices that take place in our oceans and on our ocean floors.